This is a video of TT rates Huddersfield Town as I'm driving home from the John Smith Stadium where it finished. Huddersfield Town 1, Millwall 1. So what I do on this video is I basically will rate the ground as a stadium itself, the food and drink, stewarding, players, a little bit talk about the formation and the players, and then talk about the managers as well, and my overall experience at Huddersfield Town this afternoon. And obviously I've got the three boys in the back behind me, and overall it wasn't a bad day, I've got to be honest. One of the better away days in terms of home atmosphere. I thought the atmosphere was good. I thought that the only thing that spoilt the game today really was the football on the pitch. So I'll start with the stadium itself. The John Smith Stadium obviously I think it was the McAlpine Stadium, and it's been the Gal Farm Stadium. It's changed its sponsorship name a few times, but do you know what? It's a really well built, modern ground. It's got some character, and it's just the perfect view. Like me and the boys, we were one of the first into the stadium. In fact, I think we were the first into the stadium, and got really nice seats right at the back and had our own row to ourselves. The boys had an unrestricted view, which is very unusual given the fact that we stand up for most of the game. They got to play football outside. I thought it's a nice ground, the John Smith Stadium, and it's one that I'm definitely glad that I've visited. I haven't visited there for a while. So I'll give the John Smith Stadium 4.5 out of 5. So 4.5 out of 5. We'll move on to the atmosphere. I thought the atmosphere today from the home fans and our fans was pretty good, considering, like I said, considering the football on the pitch wasn't great. I think the first half atmosphere from Huddersfield was better than it was in the second half. Obviously the goal from us took some out of it, because they probably felt a little bit hard done by. You know how I did. The only thing that I'm annoyed about whenever I talk about atmospheres is one, you immediately get a star or a rating marked down for having a drum, and the clappers. I don't like synthetic atmospheres, and to be fair, from what I saw, I thought Huddersfield sang quite well, and I don't think they need that rubbish with it. I'm sure there'll be plenty of Huddersfield fans, and please put it in the comments whether you like the clappers, whether you like the drums, because it really frustrates me, and I'll take a point off for that. But I thought overall I thought they sung pretty well, so I'll give them. It would have been 4 out of 5 for the atmosphere, but takes a point dropped because of the drums, so down to 3. We'll now go to food and drink, and I thought, Zach had a hot dog and a pie. He had the steak pie. Both Alfie and Jason had a hot dog each. The drinks were cold. I had a chicken balti pie, and everything I had today was actually really nice, I've got to be honest. The pies had, but my chicken balti pie actually had chicken in it, which is a turn up for the books, as most pies don't. It wasn't overly hot, which was the only slight complaint. But like I said, every drink that was had was nice and cold, and that really frustrates me when you go to the grounds and you feel like they've turned the fridge on 10 minutes before you've got in, and you're getting lukewarm Diet Coke or a lukewarm beer. That's no good to nobody. So overall, food and drink was excellent. The boys enjoyed it, so I'll give the food and drink a 5 out of 5. No reason why I wouldn't give it 5 out of 5. We'll now move on to the players, the team. They set up 4-4-2, and you can tell that the club's going for a bit of a sticky patch. They're going through a tough time, because the football created by both teams really was, the amount of individual errors and mistakes was not conducive of a championship match, and far too often both teams looked like they had absolutely no idea going forward, and it's hard to have an idea of where Huddersfield are going to finish, because I don't think they've got too much quality in that side. There's not, other than Kyle and Grant up front, and obviously Fraser Campbell going back, those two potentially have goals in them, and what they have compared to what Millwall have up front is that we don't have any pace, and those two do have pace. Campbell's not as quick as obviously he has been in the past, but Carlin Grant's got a bit of pace and has got a finish about him. You know, the goal that they scored was all down to a quick from winning the ball in midfield and then attacking quickly down our right side. I really don't know where they're going. I genuinely don't think they'll go down, and I put that down to the managerial change. I think if they stayed with who they had at the start of the season, I think they probably could have. I think it's going to be, you know, they'll be one of the teams down there with us. I can't see them finishing above 17th or 16th, which they might be happy with at the moment, given where they are in the table. But I didn't see anything from either team that really filled me with much confidence going forward for the weeks to come. But more importantly for Huddersfield, like Millwall away from home, Huddersfield needs a win on a Saturday at home, because that's what now 542 days without a home win on a Saturday. That's no good for no one. And if they're gonna, it's madness to say given the size of the club, but if they don't turn it around quickly, it's very difficult to then get the points on the board. Otherwise, you're always looking after you, looking over your shoulder, and then before you know it, every game's a 6-pointer like today was for both clubs, which is ridiculous how early in the season it is. And then we'll move on to the managers. Obviously, Danny and Nicky Cowley. I do have a quite funny story, really. I have coached my under-9 Lions, who are behind you, 3 or 4 times against, I think it was Nicky Cowley, the younger brother. He was the coach of the Bado Spartak under-7s and then under-8s. And we beat him every time we played him. So I'll only take the fact that, obviously, I'm 4-0 against those two as coaches. And to be fair, both the brothers were on the sidelines a couple of the times, but Nicky was there all the time. But as a managerial duo, I think they're doing an excellent job. They've done an excellent job at Lincoln, and I think they'll do a really good job at Huddersfield. And I do think they'll turn it around. Their enthusiasm, they understand as a managerial team that it's so important to have the fans on your side. You know, that before the game, they were getting involved in the warm-ups, which is not for everyone. Not every coach does that, but they were involved in the warm-ups, then clapping each of the sides of the ground, trying to then, when they needed a kick on, and waving their arms about to try and get their fans in the game. And I think they've done that to a reasonable style. Their football is very similar to Millwall's in that I do think they'll play 4-4-2 and rely on wing play and a lot on their strikers to score them the goals. But I think they'll do well at Huddersfield, and obviously they're friends with Neil Harris, and I rate them quite highly. I think they'll do well at Huddersfield Town. And overall, after today, after beating Huddersfield in the playoffs back when, with probably the best atmosphere we've ever had at the Den, I don't have anything negative to say about Huddersfield Town. The policing and stewarding today was pretty not top notch. The stewarding was excellent. There's police officers in the stands, which I don't think there necessarily has to. There was no idea or any chance of trouble today. But it was an overall good day in terms of a good day out, and I thank Huddersfield Town for that. It's just a shame the football on the pitch wasn't great. I've still got 2.5 hours. We stopped off for McDonald's, and McDonald's in Lincoln weren't too bad. So well done, McDonald's. There's always. I went for the French stack. If you wanted to know, actually quite nice with a mustard. 2.5 hours to drive home. Please like the video if you don't mind. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you're a new Huddersfield Town, please, a fan that you're watching this video, put your comments. What do you think about your team? What do you think the chances of where you're going to stay in the Championship, or where you're going to finish? Obviously, I know if you watch the main video of where I reviewed the match, we're very lucky as a Millwall fan to come away with a point today. I felt he was a bit unlucky with the refs, but that's football. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you don't mind. Come on, you Lions.